Okay, so limited bit of time on this. I just want to finish off really. I think we're sitting at about 5 hours. So I'll just finish some of this list off. I'm not going to finish on it. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is take away the gravity on the helipads. And before we do that, we'll just have a quick look at where we are. So I've got kind of some shooting as well. I need to get the other sprite, so when you're flying you shoot the right thing, and then when I am it moving up or down, then you should be able to shoot straight as well. Oh, I'm running out of power. It's most annoying. Okay, so basically no gravity if you're flying. Now what it does mean is we're going to have to check for heading down. That can be going up for sure. So I'm not quite sure how much of this we can carry forward. Probably most of it, because I mean it's still basic collision stuff. Yeah, maybe. I'll probably do it in there. So how fast is a flying SP? We can do a basic keyboard check in there. So if flying, blah blah blah. Then it kind of moves it down. And then check collision. Let's have a quick look at this and see if this works. I'm always a bit kind of unsure that it's goes in so easily. So my gravity, oh, look at that, 200 code. I've got to just so now I can put in the shooting so it goes horizontal, which is fine. So it's not flying SP. BBY. Not going up or down. Zero. So might be. Looks like we've been up one as well. Pressing that as the key. Okay. Okay, there we go. So just need to put in the proper graphic. we have loads of sprites left, so I don't actually have to be too stingy with. That's the image. Right, so basically 4-frame animation. 16. Selection. So they've got it as it goes across the screen. Instead of rotation, it animates. We're obviously not going to do that. Two pixels there and half a sign. Okay. I want to keep the balance right. 2 pixels, 1 half the side. There we go. Yeah, that's probably fine. Right, so I just need to take away backgrounds. Okay. I think there is an animation to do that one, but I'm not quite sure. Okay, oops. So if we're flying, let's see, fire, here we go. If we're flying, then we want to basically set a new sprite. Sprite, index, and go. That should be all it is. Compatibility is really good. We have a whole lot of compatibility scripts that we import to simulate functionality that we've gotten rid of. So, there we go. These bullets need to bounce off the walls, which is fine. Yeah, so you can import your old projects, and they should run, but you will need to kind of maintain stuff really going forward. Okay, so so they only bounce off if you're flying, I think. So Excuse me. Okay. So, like these, we need to get a collision. Now I'm going to be doing a lot of this kind of thing. So again, it's a 16 by 16, so we're actually going to be doing something pretty similar to this. So let's do left first. Is that right? That was right. Do right first. I'll change this as we go. So it's a 16 by 16, so again, the collision being on 8 by 8 boundaries, we've got 2 blocks to check, and then when it's offset, there's a third one. And then depending on what that hits, you basically flip the direction. So just one. I could stick the collision right in the middle. That's probably not bad. That means when you flip, you don't have to mess about. Yeah, that's probably fine. It doesn't actually have to be in the middle, just to be middle X. And then I don't need to do that. Okay, so when you're going right, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. Offset. I don't need that because I'm not flying. Need that. Okay. So again, yeah, so going right, you're basically going to be y plus 8, y plus 16. And going right is going to be plus 8, these blocks, and then if any of these blocks aren't, then we're going to basically flip. And you know something? It's exactly the same the other way, except checking blocks on the other side. Backwards. Again, you hit something like you just bounce off. And it's almost the same going this way. So minus 8, 0, plus 8. Plus 16. What's this? Up, sorry. Where you say the offset was? Right at the top. And down. Okay, got the same, so this time bottom row. 8, 16. Yeah, that should be fine. That will take it into a block, and whether we snap out or not is another matter. Maybe take away the short limits. Didn't like doing that, did you? Fine, although step. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't need to check that. I can check the sprite index. Because that's basically the same indicator. Every time. There you go. That's it, hand over there. Oops, and a block there, look at that. Yeah, at the moment they don't die. I still need to snap, otherwise it's going to go in. So yeah, you need to snap them. Okay, so going up here, you just snapping it down, going down, snap it down, because you're obviously going in, and then going down, you just snap it back. Same for X, going left, just snap it in, and offset it, and going right, you just snap it back. Okay. That one's hitting the corner, so it's bouncing. That could be hitting the corner, it's going to have to tell. Bouncing around. I'm assuming that was bouncing off somewhere. Oh, yeah, there you go. Cool. There you go. So basic bouncy collision. Now they just need a lifespan. This times. Ooh, I don't know. 2 seconds. Really? You want to do that kind of stuff up here. If you're going to quit, you may as well do as little work as possible before quitting. So, it should now run, have a life, and blah. Oh, yeah. Oh no, they go strictly, don't they? Most of the time. I need to check that, but there we go. And the remake. So, here you go. Fireline. So, taking that off, taking that off, taking that off, taking that off. Death sequence. Yeah, well, I fancy putting in some random baddies. Give you something to shoot at. Let's see what kind of baddies we've got and how they come on. I think they just find a space in the map that you're in and then bounce around as well, basically. And really, I should just move that bouncing script. Well, they've got a bit more of a random movement on them. So again, I'm just watching my playthrough of StarQuake, see how baddies appear. Right, okay, so I'm not quite sure how your energy runs out in this thing. Is it just when you get hit by baddies, or is it just tick down? It just looks like it ticks down over time. I mean, that's easy. You just decrement the counter, doesn't it? So I really won't be bothered putting that in just because it's meh. Right, so I think we'll put in some baddies, I think, just to see. So let's just create group. Edge. Alright, so there's a big stack of them here. I don't know if they're different. No, they are different. So again, they must just animate based on position, but we'll just animate them. 18 by 16. Oh, okay. I mean, different kinds of baddies is pretty simple, isn't it? So now I'm wondering if you want it to do that more than anything else, don't you? Don't actually have ping pong in the runner yet, so that'll do, isn't it? Let's just create another.
So Jack go down to the party.
Just weird.
I know.
So, let's take another body. There's so many. I'll take this one again. Selection. It's a black background. I don't actually have to do this for what I'm doing, but why not? I say I'm only going to spend an hour on this, so I've got about half an hour left. Let's see how far we can get in that. That'll be 6 hours in total we've spent on this. Minus the time I was playing with the room editor and just painting in tiles. We do have a here. How much time we spent on the project. Like I say, that's not quite true for this one because it's been in the background. We've taken it. I've not done any actual work stuff on it. It should. I get in 5-minute blocks or so. It kind of detects movement and stuff, so it tries to be relatively smart about it. It's been open for days, so it's not quite true. Kind of been looking around, running it occasionally just to see where I was with it. It's quite handy. It's quite nice to start. Excuse me. Okay. Okay. One bad. Twelve. I could do, suppose. Same with these guys. About 8. And that lets it play. As long as they're the same size, then it should be fine. If you're getting fed up having to go through that image properties thing to edit the image, there is a preference so that when you double click this after you've created it, it will go straight into the image editor. And then there's obviously a open properties window if you need it. So let me just show you that. Sprite editor, image editor. Source tree, open image editor and double clicking, so this way. So you do that, then let's close this one, and double clicking this, go straight into there. It means you don't go through that properties window. Most of the time you're just wanting to do this. I find if you want to open the properties, you can obviously just go open properties. So that's a kind of a nice speed up. It just kind of takes you straight in, like you're having to go through that other dialogue, which is nice. Okay, get rid of him. Let's some point I would like to see if I can do a project in D&D. I've obviously not had much to do with it. And there's a million different icons now, so a lot of the slowdown would just be finding the right icons for things. But it would be interesting to see how far I got, because we've expanded it quite a lot. Okay. So let's close these down. Close that one. So let's have a baby. For the moment, we'll just have him. So we just really want to say, spawn yourself somewhere in the room in an empty spot, and then move about randomly. Really, although it has to be at the edge. I think. I don't think they appear. I don't think they ever appear just kind of. Yeah, they kind of come on from the edge of the screen. So, which kind of dictates the general direction, because they're kind of heading in the middle. Yeah. Okay. So what we could do is we could just kind of look round. Can we just put in all the squares round? Randomly pick one. You want a kind of 16 by 16 slot. Not that many, is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 6. 1, 2, 16. So 12, of which panel is quite a lot. What's the room? Let me just have a quick look. So, about it, isn't it? So we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think. So that's not too bad. So that's what we're seeing. So I'm just going to stick it over there so I can count. So it goes down to there and up to here. 3, 4, 5, 6. So I could just loop along. Basically, I'm thinking store all these off in a position. So it's into here. Along to here. Just store the edges. And then randomly just keep picking one until we find an empty one. And then that's just one point. And then they can come on from there. So let's see if we can do that. So it's interesting. So one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus 0, 5 plus equals And equals 9 times 16. And then we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 across. So 15. That's him again. And then we're going to do basically the same. So it'll be 16. 16. X I times 16 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 down. And that does top row and bottom row. And now what we have to do is basically look until we find old body. That can all be those. So all we really need to do is give it a top left of the screen, which I won't know at this point. Not know at that point. Stick it into a row, or I could just make this. So what we'll do is we'll stick this on a delayed thing. This is going to work out where we are. Oh no, hang on, what I could do, oh, that would do. What I could do is, when you create an instance, it sets the X and Y. We could use that as a way for targeting that position. So, first of all, so pick one of them. Then, where's that? Set room. We're basically going to do this. This gives us a kind of top left position. Is that right? Yes. I think. Don't quote me on that. So the X and Y will be within there, so we'll take that. That then works out position to look at. Don't know if I need this bit. With a feeling I don't, because that's about the view and moving it down. But actually, we've got an actual position in the world, so that might be okay. So that gives me X, X, Y, Y is the top left of the room. So given this, I can then check 4 tiles up there to see if they're on this slot to see if they're blank. So I'll just do tile set at pixel. So that will be X plus bit A plus A. So that's the tile position in the room, and then we add on the X and Y, which gives us into, so that was the tile position into the window. Then we add on the room position. And we do need the collision thing again. You could store the collision as a global, so it's always there for folk, but meh. Okay. 2, 3, 4. So that's plus 8, plus 8, plus 8, plus 8. So that gives us our 4 blocks. D1 and D2, D4. I've said before, but really you should be anding it to just get the tile map. I do sometimes forget, but I kind of know what's in that tile. I know it's just a tile number, there's no flags or flipping, or we are intending putting some other bits in there at some point, so you are better getting rid of all that and just saying this is my tile mask. So if they're all 0, then we can break out here, this is a decent position. And we can now go oh, hang on, that's, oh no, it's 1016, so we're in the right place. Okay, and you can break out. Otherwise, you just kind of keep looping. What I might do is, on the off chance, just to stop infinite loops or bugs, or if there's a room that is totally, I know the middle room has nothing around it. That's where you go, and that's totally solid. So on the off chance it's going to generate out and just get stuck in here, we give it a maximum count of like 100. That it'll loop around to you 100 times and then go, yeah, I'm out here. Then we can just go instance, destroy, exit. I'll just kill ourselves and go. It's kind of as a protective thing. So what we'll have the player do for the moment is just on a timer, which we can kind of randomize a little bit. No, so it'll be on Y, which is the player one. I'll get cropped to the room. Now we could change what he looks like here. So equals times 20, no, 10 seconds. Let's see what that does. I haven't moved yet. Idea is to just kind of pop up. 10 seconds is a long time to wait when you're, especially when you don't even know what's actually happening. Let's see, I'm getting bored now. Buddy. So that'll tell us if we've tried to make a baddie. It might hit collision problems or something. 1, 2. 2. Okay, that's not what I expected. So RAM 0. Just select manually. Buddy, there you go. Okay, FPS must be the current FPS. That's room speed and what, isn't it? Or whatever the game speed now. Yeah. So. Type, I don't know. I've added a type. I'm not quite sure what the type is, the manual. It's probably FPS, I don't know. Okay, it's kind of killing it just now anyway, so. What I'm going to do for the moment is just stick it where its last position was, and then we'll see where in the room it's actually thinking it's appearing, if it's in the room. No, see it's off screen somewhere. I don't add that on. Where do you appear? You should appear at the player. Ah, it doesn't. Okay, there's something else going on. Oh, okay, so he appeared. Okay. So basic things. Okay, so one of these is wrong. Just print out the toilet's actually thinking it's straight now, I suppose. And that's it, couldn't find anything, so let's just kind of see. 0.96, so that would have been down the side. Yeah, 16 is block 6. Nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that should have been in here, which should have been in occupied. Tell you what is wrong, that should be XX plus that and Y plus that. Because it should be the clamped one, then adding on the offsets again. 6. No, I'm going to get B4. No, there it is, down there. What are you doing down there, guy? Maybe I do need to offset that 48. I think I would have, but okay, maybe I do. Should be, oh. that saying it couldn't find a slot. Which is annoying. I've got about 10 minutes. Setting the room position. It does -48 because it's got to offset it back so that the space for the panel, so it's offset down. That's only for the view, so no, I don't think we need that. That shouldn't be there. Also, the plus is just so it's kind of going back again, but I don't think that's right either. Pretty sure he's going to be way down the screen now. And there. Let's say 96 should be. Oh, no, he's messed up again. Oh, maybe it's just because we've spawned. 1 sec, it's just 96. So, I'm still down there. It's almost like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. 3. And 4. Yes, I think 16. 9. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. I should only still be up here. I mean, this should be kind of 0. Missed a bracket or something somewhere. Yeah. So, there's a plus in there, never mind. Matters not. 2, 3, 1, 4, 4. So that's the next screen. Okay, that might 0. X is quite large, I have to say. Actually, we're going 4, 4. Yes. No idea what's created. Yes. 1, 2, 4, 8. Something. Yeah. Back to 0. Okay. Yeah, but it's not getting. I mean, 0 for Y is good, but for working it out. But I then do need to add on 1, 2, 3 blocks for the collision. on Y, just because it's obviously offset down a bit. Hey, oh, that's in the centre, isn't it? So it may well be going, it thinks that block's just empty. It seems to be getting the same block. Range. Hang on. I'm not actually sure that having those here is a good idea. I might need to do them so that they are there and they're nicely clipped. That should be range. Index at range. 150. I'll show you that. This. Put right now there. It would be quite simple. It's just the offset of the tile map that's messing me up. I mean, ideally, I would crop this whole bit off the actual images. But if you remember, the images are a big bit, so I have to shift them all up and do all that again. So I'm not going to do that. That will just complicate things. So it should just be 3 extra on the top. Take that out. Yeah. Because the table itself is built up from how it. So what I can do is just build it into the table. Oh, that's wrong as well, isn't it? Some of these are characters, some of these aren't. And that won't help. Oops, hang on. Somebody pinged me the sprites on Twitter. There's a link to something somewhere. I had all the sprites to them. Okay, so you're clearly getting the wrong character, but never mind. coming up around the map now, but it's let's just speed it up a bit to see where it's going to come from. And they're obviously at the edge, but it's not getting the right collision, or it'll be picking a different spot. Now along the bottom. Along the bottom, or are they not along the bottom? It's along the top there. Okay. I need to figure that out. Okay, that's all I can do for the moment. I'll probably finish this bit off just so I have it going, and then I'm going to restart on Jetpack, I think. I don't know enough about this game to really spend any more time than just having aliens bouncing about. I have to go and do some stuff though, so I've got most of it. Those are the only other two bits I was really going to look at doing, so yeah. So, but it's not bad. Most of the work's been in the character himself, and mainly to do with how he moves around, and doing collision with things. So you've got the up. If you're flying, it checks to see that there's no blocks above you. And if you're on the ground, it tries to see that you're on top of one of these little heli things before it actually spawns off. If you are on one of those heli things, it kills them all off so they'll disappear, flags you as flying so it can put the graphic on and so on. Otherwise you're just kind of flying around. So that's not flying, you're just flying around hitting the collisions at the top basically. If you're not going up, then you're going down, either with gravity or with the keyboard. So if you're flying, then it checks the key to see if you can fly up and down and kills the shooting thing if you're not going down the direction. And then again just checks for collision at the bottom. If you're on the bottom, then it checks to see if it's got those two special blocks to see where you drop those the helis off thing. If you are, then it deactivates that while you're on it. You could immediately press up and it would reactivate it again, or you could just walk off and then it reactivates all the instances around the map again. Left and right, it's dead simple. Moves left, right, checks the different collision tiles. If you're flying, it's got that extra bit to check at the bottom, so it's another tile, and then snaps it in and out to the blocks depending on if you're hitting walls and stuff. Same for the right hand side. Standing still, just stands you still. Space is for those platforms. You're always in a space to start with, so you kind of go on that premise. So when you press space, we move you up a bit, we put the platform graphic underneath you, and then we render the decaying platform graphic underneath you. And then we add two tiles into the collision map that are basically solid. And then when that decaying tile disappears, it takes them away again so that you could fall down again. All just kind of works, it's quite nice. Then you've got your shooting, which is just if you're walking left, right, it fires that way. If you're flying, then you've got the multi-directional one. Pickups, each pickup just has a type embedded to it, and then just depending on what the type is, you do something. You've got different powers, and then you've got a key thing, or different objects you can pick up that go through the cycle slot thing. So it moves all the other ones along, and then puts the other one in. We'd have to check to see what type. That's not actually returning. That really needs to return. So we need to have that one and then return that. Yeah, that was the idea anyway. got to do that and pick up. So it gets that back, and if it's not, it's going to go 0, it turns out. It's only working because it was 0. So, and it sets that for putting out, otherwise it's -1 that goes in there. Probably take these out so that they're empty. Just check it. So we've got nice empty slots now, and then I should be able to pick that up. Like I say, we've got the baddies starting to appear, but I just need to get them into the right position, and then I can start to shoot them once they're on screen. And then they're just moving about, bouncing like the bullets did. Again, there's nothing terribly complicated in that. You just got to shoot them with your bullets. And then there's going to be a maximum. So when you spawn them, you kind of count how many there are, and then if there's more than 3, I think, you don't spawn it, and you can assign a random colour to it. That's all the baddies are. There's nothing hard in there. That's what we draw. Nothing too much. Because we put all the animations in one thing, we kind of do the animation ourselves. I could have split that apart and had them as different sprites, and then it would have been much simpler. And then if we're flying, we have to draw the helicopter underneath. Grey stuff's just a panel. It draws the actual graphic, and then it sits black and draws blobs over the top of them. And then you've got the pickup and ladders, basically, that you're going to draw there as well for the slots. Just key restarts, resets to pick up, and then you've got the alien, the baddie spawning. As I say, it's nothing that's rocket science. It's all just about getting the player movement correct. So adds us into the world, adds collision into the world. If it's anything there, then we decide that we can't go there, we just kill ourselves. The player's got an upper pixel and they'll just fall down the next frame basically, so you won't actually see it. And then it sets in the collision. Then after the decaying animation, we take away those 2 blocks again and we kill ourselves. So the platforms are dead easy. Heli is just a sprite to draw. We don't actually need an object. Oh, we do need an object because they get placed everywhere. And then pickups we use and assign them in the room editor. Bullets, again, they just have a speed. If you're flying, then they bounce about and you bounce off things. It's very simple. Same as the player. Go along and check the collision. Unlike the player, you flip the direction if it's anything in it. And the baddie we're not quite done with. Idea being, we've got a list of all the coordinates around the edge of the screen. We randomly pick one of them, checking to see if there's anything there. If it's an empty slot, we can put the baddie there, and then he can set off on his way, trying to kill things. We could put in different speeds here to go, well, you've got to go down this way and then a random X or something. So we've got a bit of an easier decision. And that's it really. As I said before, I would have liked to have the rooms as an actual tile map instead of this huge bitmap. We've obviously got the collisions we've been drawing as tiles over the top, but if we had it as a tile map, we could have collided with it a bit, just as the tiles. Probably on 16x16s rather than 8x8s, but never mind. Some of these are 8x8s, I guess, so 16. Who knows? But for what we're doing here, it's fine. It's a nice big level to fly around in, so it's quite cool. Okay, that's all for this one. I'm going to do Jetpack next. Big fan of Jetpack, so I'm looking forward to doing that one. That'll be quite cool. It's a very small game as well, so it'll be really interesting to see just how far you get with something like that. Something like this has quite a complicated mechanic and figuring out where you're going and everything, so Jetpack is much simpler. The game's really easy to figure out, so we'll see how we get on. Okay, bye peeps.